All right, welcome back. What we're doing is we're separating out the scriptable objects from the script, from the MonoBehaviours inside of GemWars. We're doing that so we can set it up for multiplayer play. So what we did just a few minutes ago was we pulled player out. So now when we look at, for example, where player is instantiated here in the beginning of the game, we're now initting to show that it's a local player, and we're passing in an array of players. So one of the other places that we have to do this is in draw container script. We had initially our create draws were all happening and instantiating the scriptable objects here. But now there's a new script for this that's on the round scriptable object. So when a round gets created, it automatically will create the draws for that round. These are, of course, the scriptable objects that we're using. And so that one's set up really well. The one that's not currently is the drawers, which are the drawing drawers. So if I first start and look at player here, I have these available pieces, right? But what I don't have is something that tells me that, you see, currently in player, I need to have something in here which says is ready to reset drawers. So if I look at my piece scriptable objects, I want to have a new protected bool in here called was purchased. And now I just want to add that here as a public virtual void set purchased. And then we're going to say bool is purchased. And then we can say was purchased equals is purchased. Okay. So now when I look at this, I want to make sure that I don't have any available pieces which are looks like I forgot to do one thing with that, which is I need to have my public bool was purchased, and we just want to return my was purchased. So if there are not any where they were not purchased, like that. Okay. And so this means that we're probably going to have another error over here, which is ready to reset drawers, and then we have set drawers here. So check drawers is being called from here. But what I want to do is my args.player dot check and set drawer pieces. Come on. And in here, we're going to bring this script into the player. I'm going to call it set drawers. And I want to, if my is ready to reset drawers, then what I want to do is create a piece scriptable object, and then do a available pieces.add my piece. And you want to do this for my number of times that we are, see, and then you're setting the available pieces here. And you want to do this for the a number of times that that we set here. So a protected integer, and we want this to be the number initial pieces. And we'll set that to equal to 3. And then I can make this a integer with a number initial pieces equals 3. So it's a defaulted. And then we can just do my number equals number initial pieces. And then 4 goes to my number initial pieces. We just want to create pieces like that. So now in Game Manager, above this, we're going to have args.player. We're going to say check and set drawers. Check and set drawer pieces. Like that. And now when I look at my check and set drawer pieces, I want to say if my args.player.get hash code is equal to my game.player current player local.get hash code, then you want to do a check and set draw pieces, which is only going to set the hand limit. So here, we want to say this is a bool, which is going to be a true and then a false. So if this is true, then and my args like that, then you want to check and set them, which is going to, for each one of my drawer scripts, we're not going to use this one anymore. We're now going to have my game.player local and I want to do a available pieces. So let's get those available. Like that. And you want to get the ones where they are not purchased to array. And now we can get rid of my number of drawers here, because this comes from my game.playerLocal.number public integer number initial pieces. And then here, your available pieces have already been calculated. So now what I'm doing is for each one of my scripts, for each one of my drawers, if the piece is null, then I want to use my, we're going to do this as a for I goes to my drawer scripts.length. Now if my drawer scripts of I dot piece is null, then we can do this, which is going to be my available pieces of I, and then my drawer scripts of I. Like that. And then we're going to set my available pieces. And what I want to do here is I want to do my we're going to say all pieces is a new list of piece SO. And now I want to do a available pieces dot where it was purchased for each of those. I want to do a all pieces dot add my X. And then also I want to do a same kind of thing here with the pieces. So it's just, come on, microphone cable. There we go. Pieces dot for each dot to list dot for each X where my all pieces that add my X. And then we're going to say that that's equal to all pieces. Check to see if it compiles. Looks good. Give it a run. A first issue is it says it's outside the bounds. So let's take a look at what's happening here. And also in player.init, I want to do a check and set drawer pieces. There we go. That looks good. When we refresh it, it looks great. I don't think I'm erroring. And it just looks like it's fixed this time. Let's test it with gems. Didn't reset with gems because it still saw that I have this piece here. it never registered that that was purchased. Hold on. So when we purchase that item, piece.set purchased to be true. Try it again. There we go. Looks like things are working correctly. Let's go to the next round. Index was outside. So that's on set drawers. So everywhere where this is being called from is in a init for drawers. Right here. Drawer scripts are 3, available pieces are 3. Let's make this easier on myself. Change round 1 to have just one line to progress. Oh, come on. That's great. So now it's not even going to let me connect again. Okay, we're connected. So now when I go to the next round, That's going to be an issue. We might need to restart because I need this debugger right now. This is a big problem. We might have to call it if this is what's going to happen right now. This is a real bad little thing that's been happening to me sometimes. And now over here, as soon as I attach the debugger, it just locks. We'll try one more thing to get it going. Give it just a second here. Start it back up. Come on, computer. Okay, let's try to reattach it again. Give it an attach. Okay, I can't fix this. I have to restart the computer. So we'll just call it for now, and then I'll come back a little bit later. We'll have another stream in a couple of hours today. So thanks for staying with me this morning. And did it just work? I think it just worked. It just kicked through. Let's give it a try. Nope, never mind. Did you hear sound? It apparently was just working. There, did you see it? There. Okay, so my scripts are 3 and my available pieces are 3. Done that. Now we can go ahead and make a line. Now my drawer scripts are 3 and my available pieces are 1. So it never reset the drawers. So if we go back here, to Game Manager, should be doing it right here. So let's try it again. Yeah, that was weird, right? Super frustrating. Okay, it's setting drawers. I messed that up. I'm gonna do it again. Should be able to get a line off these. All right, I got it here. So we're going to break and see where this thing is being invoked from. And there it is. See, it's invoking this before it's resetting the drawers. So this is being invoked from a init. Check and set drawer pieces. And reset game. So it's in the init. It's right here. We can do this. And then we can move this one up here. And now when I look at my set drawers here, that looks right. And now we can go back in. And that should have been caught here, which means check and set draw pieces should be happening here. But you're calling a init later. So let's try it again. We're going to attach it to Unity. And connect to it. Try it again. That looks right. Okay, so my board pieces are right. When we do the UI init, is new game is false. So we're not going to create the drawers. So when we set the drawers, my available pieces are 1. Does that mean I don't need to set drawers? I can just do it like this. I think so. We don't need to watch those anymore. And if I do this, now it's taking me to the next round. It also reset when I hit those lines. So let's do it again. Let's try it one more time. I want to make sure that it's not resetting the board. It's not. Perfect. Okay. And now if I get gems, and I were to purchase a piece or two, now we just want to kind of burn through the rest of the level here. One line left. It refreshed me to go to the next one. I'm in round 3. All those changed and not these. So now it's working correctly. And that means that in my piece SO, where I have my safety check here, good, I don't have that anymore. Okay. Okay, so that's done. So now in my game manager, we're starting this and we're kicking off our player. And what I want to do is I want to have an event here, which is a protected virtual void. And we want to call this start player turn. And what I want to do is for each var player in game.players, I want to do a interesting. I don't have players exposed, so let's add that. I want to do a set current turn to be false, and then I want to do a player.set current turn to be true. Now I want to do a start player turn here called player. So on a piece played, right now what I want to do is I want to say that when we place a piece, and we're just going to do it for one piece right now, we want to change the player turn. And this one you want to do your var next player is equal to your game.players.index of, and I want to get my game.player current turn if I go to the game and I change players to be a queue, is now I can say my players equals a new queue of players dot to list dot order by GUID dot new GUID. So we sort them all randomly. And so now what you want to do is on your player local, you can get the one, and then player current turn, you can get your players dot peak. Which should only show it but not remove it. And now we want to do a public virtual void go to next player turn. And all you're going to do is a var player equals players dot dq, and then you can do a players dot enqueue player. And then we can return my player SO here. So down here you can do a game.start go to next player turn. And we're going to say that this is my new player. And then I just want to do a, let's see. I want to see what's in that. So we'll do, I'm just going to set a fake text. I'm going to do a debug .log of my player new .id. We want to do instance ID. Now I can get rid of this set current turn. And now this is going to be game.start go to next player turn. And we want to do the same thing here. So now I should see that it alternates turns. Okay, so let's add a second player here. Try this. See what happens. When we reinit this game, that's going to restart everything, and then we want to do a go to next player turn. This needs to be a queue of player. No, we'll do it like this, and then a players dot to array. See how this works? Perfect. So now it's taking me to another player, but because it's not the local player, it's not letting me use them. On my player so init, we want to do a instance ID equals GUID.newGUID.toString. Good. That was the other player's turn. And now what I want to do is I want to say this one. I want to say if player is not the local player, then I want to do something where I place a piece. So if I look at the board, I have a can add piece to the board. What I want to do is for each item in player.available items. If I can add the piece to the board, then we want to do it. So this is a piece scriptable object. This one's a piece script. Here, the first thing that I want to do is I want to create a piece. And it's going to be a piece.prefab. And I want to make the transform this. And then you want to set your transform in your local position to be X and Y. So you want to go from Y for your board size X. And if I was to look at where this is being called, it's 1 and then just equal. So it starts at 1 and it only goes to there. And then we want to do the same for X, which is board size X. We want to set the transform. See if we can add it to the board. If we can add it to the board, then I want to do a board script.add to board, which is my piece MB, and my player is the player. And then here you're going to return true. Otherwise, you're going to just return false. So this is board script. And you want to pass in your piece and your player. On this, we're also going to pass in board script just temporarily. Then you want to do a board script.add piece to board. We're going to say that this is try add piece to board. And then I want to do a go to next player turn, and then do a break out of this loop. And this now also needs to have my board script and my board script. Try it again. Add piece to board says that it couldn't find the scriptable object. So in my game where I created this object here, I want to look at where we actually instantiate an object. Here, you're instantiating this piece. You want to init it with your piece your board script, why do you need all of this? Your drawer script, which we don't have, your container script, which we don't have, your game. So can you do null, game, and then true? I feel like this isn't going to work. Okay, let's check it again. So when this happens, we're going to create the blocks here. Okay, so now my piece, scriptable object, has 4 blocks on it, and my other piece has 4. Now we're going to try to place it. So now it's running it a second time. Okay, so we'll just do that for now, just to get a piece that's played. So if I was to look at this again and go to my game manager and I was to make this also false, now it should play by itself if everything works right. And let's just do return players.first. What? If I look here, my piece blocks dot length are 4. My blocks are 4. This time my piece blocks are 3. And my piece is 3. So it's like it was doing this init. Well, let's go back and fix this. So here, we want to return this to normal. I want to return this to normal. Let's try it again. Good. So it placed. Now when that's done, just temporarily, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say player local dot set I want to do a players.dequeue. And then you want to put that at the end of your enqueue thing. Let's see that work. Okay. So after I place my piece, okay, let's check it here. Is local is true. Oh. It's player current turn. It's weird why it's doing that. Why is it running that every time? It's got to be from here that it's failing. So now when I look at the blocks here, it's created 6 blocks when it should only have created 3. Let's check it again. Piece already has 4 blocks. because it's already been a knit. Let's try it again. There we go. But it said that it never set the scriptable object to it. So in player available pieces. Right here is where you create the piece. So here, you need to set that scriptable object here. On your piece, SO. Doesn't have a drawers? Okay, I got to think about this a little bit more. So I'm all done for the day. I'll be back maybe in a couple hours this afternoon, but if not, first thing in the morning. Thanks again for staying with me. Have a great rest of your time. If you have any questions, make sure you pop them into the chat at our Discord, discord.pixellorestudios.com, and I put these videos up at youtube.pixellorestudios.com. Thanks again, guys. Have a great one. Bye.